Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Francy and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Yes, today I am answering the question that you've probably been wanting me to answer for quite some time, and I apologize that it's taken me this long to answer it. What is that question? It is, what in the heck happened to Mr. Francy Reads? Before I get into it, if you want to help this channel, please just subscribe and hit that thumbnail, hit the bell and all notification, and yeah, hit everything you can, because it would really support my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about why the channel has changed. You've probably noticed some big changes going on with the channel, such as there's a big different backdrop now with what I'm affectionately referring to as the exploding love heart, exploding in a good way, exploding with a whole lot of positive sparkling energy way, and a different profile picture thing, you know what I mean, the circle thing, and also, most importantly, a different name. So my journey on YouTube has been a long one, longer than potentially some of you may have known. When I first started off on YouTube, I started off as a human anthropologist who wanted to know the ins and outs and goings on of the human mind and what makes a human tick and the way a human thinks and things like that. So I very unoriginally began this very YouTube channel with the name of, I'm kidding you not, comment below and let me know. And so it kind of became an anthropology channel of sorts where I discussed different things with the goal to have people commenting in the comments below so that conversations could start about different topics and different things. It was eventually changed to the acronym CBALMK, or Kumbulk as some people might have called it, and we had a fun time. But over the course of time, that channel was no longer doing anything for me. I wasn't inspired to continue along with that sort of channel, and so the channel itself evolved. And what happened in 2020 of January was that I had come across a booktube channel, not knowing that booktube had existed, and I decided to create my own booktube channel because I used to love reading, but in 2018 and 2019 I picked up 3 books, didn't finish any of them, and I wanted to hold myself accountable for reading in 2020. Hence the name Mr. Francy Reads was born, and from then up until now I've had a booktube channel. However, over the course of time, things have happened here and there that have made me realize that exclusively being a booktuber is no longer for me. There are many reasons associated with this. One of them is the cost factor. I realized that being a booktuber, being an unsuccessful booktuber, and I'll define that for you, an unsuccessful booktuber in the sense that none of my videos were monetized, I was not making money, and yet, even though I was not making money, I was running at a consistent loss of $600 a month. If you would like to see the breakdown of what contributed to the $600 every single month that I would lose, let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to go into that for you. But in order to keep this video brief, I'm just letting you know that because it's one of the reasons. I was spending $600 every single month consistently, and 12 sevens, $600 times 12 months is $7,200, or to put differently, $7,200 a year that I was consistently spending, which may not seem like a lot of money to you, but is a lot of money to me. So it became a tough time for me, and it was a lot of money that I was putting into my channel to run at a loss. I'm not saying that the reason I'm leaving booktube or leaving being an exclusive booktuber is because I didn't make money, because that wasn't the reason why I entered into booktube in the first place. But to consistently run at a loss in a significant way with a significant amount of money every single month is something that I really need to consider what I'm going to do, because yeah, $600 is a lot of money when you're not seeing any sort of a return on it. And that's not me being mean, that's just me stating it factually. It's a lot of money to lose when you're not seeing any sort of a return on it. Also, on the other side of things, booktube was no longer as fun for me as it used to be. While I started off in 2020 on booktube doing what I wanted to do for me, and if I received subscribers, that was going to be amazing, but I only planned the channel originally to hold myself accountable, and so therefore I did not expect to have subscribers at all. I wasn't doing my channel for anyone else. Things did change over the course of time, and I started gaining subscribers in great numbers as time went on, and so therefore the channel evolved and the expectations for the channel evolved, where I went from creating Mr. Francy Reads purely and solely for myself, and now suddenly I was creating it for everyone else. And so that was tough as well. Also, reading went from being a really fun thing for me to being more like additional homework that at the time I was not working. COVID came along not too much longer after I'd started my channel. I started in January of 2020, my booktube channel, and then we went into lockdown here in Melbourne, Australia in March of 2020. So it was really convenient for me. I was not working at the time, so I could spend a lot of that free time that I had reading, but things have changed. I now have full-time employment, and therefore I don't have as much time to read. And even during the week, if I was to read after work, I don't know how you'll do it, to be honest. I'm exhausted when I finish my work day. I am mentally and physically spent, and so I don't necessarily have the energy to read. And the expectation that I used to place on myself to read at least 10, if not anywhere from 10 to 13 books a month, was flying out the window. It was not going to be a possibility because with me being exhausted every single day after work and not reading, the only chance I was going to have to read would be on the weekend. And again, I would need to let go of any sort of social plans or social activities because I was reading and I need to catch up with my reading. So that there was a lot of pressure that was placed on me. Now, I do need to make this point very clear. There was no pressure placed on me from anyone other than myself. You know, there are people out there who say that booktube comes with a lot of pressures that people place on you, and I 100% disagree. No one places pressure onto any booktubers. Booktubers place pressure onto themselves. Now, it is a pressure that you choose as a creator to take on. And if you want to continue to take on that pressure, then you do, and you move forward with your channel in whatever way you're going to do so. But for me, this is a pressure that I can no longer place onto myself. But I also want to create content, which leads me into my big final reason why Mr. Francy Reads is no longer the channel. The channel is now exclusively called Mr. Francy, with the reads being dropped. And that is because when you are a booktuber, the purpose of a booktuber is to create bookish content. While there was nothing wrong with that for me for the first 3 years of my channel, what I'm finding is that it is stifling me creatively, my creativity, if you will. I want to talk about all different things that aren't just limited to books, and I find that I have found that pigeonholing myself as a booktuber limits me to talk about nothing but books. So because of that, I've now changed my channel to Mr. Francy. Now, it's going to be the same sort of style of content that you have all become accustomed to recently. And if you're new, hi and welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. So these days at the moment, just because there is no other way for me, I am doing a podcast style of videos. The good thing about this, as people have told me in the past, is that you can listen to my videos while multitasking and doing other things if you wish. But I am not, there's no visual of me live in a video. And I understand that that is rather limiting and that does not appeal to certain people, but there's no way of getting out of that. I want to be realistic moving forward, that when I say the reads has been dropped and it's now a new channel called Mr. Francy, that the podcast style is not going to change. There was an incident that occurred with me earlier on this year, I think it was either early this year or late last year, one of the two, it was a while ago now, that had me changing things from being a visual content creator to an audio content creator. That is not going to change for the foreseeable future. I would love to get to a point where I do get to a stage where I can come back and do actual visual videos, but at this stage I just don't have that as an option. So please know that moving forward, all of my content is going to be your audio podcast style, if you will, type of video. But anyway, being named Mr. Francy, the only change to that is that it has opened up endless, boundless possibilities for me for things that I want to discuss. This is actually a take 2 for me. I filmed another video that went on for half an hour and I listened back to it and thought, oh my goodness, I really don't need this much information. So I just wanted to give you guys a very long story short about what happened and why the change. And at the end of the day, ultimately the change came about because I didn't want to limit myself into just talking about books. I want to talk about all different things and don't want to be limited in any way. So very, very easy. To no longer pigeonhole myself as a booktuber, I dropped the only word in my title that refers to me exclusively being a booktuber, which is the word reads. I'm already known as Mr. Francy, so I kept that moniker as my title, Mr. Francy. For those of you who don't know, my name is Francois, but I find that my name is very hard for a lot of people to pronounce. I've known that ever since I was a child, and I used to have this running joke that my name is whatever you pronounce my name to be, because I could walk past 100 different people who are going to say my name in a different way. So I realized early on that having a nickname would be a great idea, and I'd give credit to a dear friend of mine that I had in high school, who was the first person to coin the phrase Francy for me. And I loved it. It's such a sparkling, shiny, positive energy type way to nickname my name. And it's not a harsh ending to a name like, say, Frank or Fran or something. So having the Francy, it kind of cutens it and makes it sparkly and positive and all that. And I love it. So I've been running with Francy. I had been running with Francy for a very long time. And then I had another channel that I'm not talking about here, but I had another channel where I was teaching. And so for the purposes of those classes, I was referring to myself as Mr. Francy, and that went really well. And so I decided to bring Mr. Francy over into my booktube channel and therefore calling it Mr. Francy Reads. So I've not only been known as Francy or even Mr. Francy for a very long time, but in the latest channel I had, Mr. Francy Reads, obviously I was known as that as well. So there's no real need or point for me to drop the moniker of Mr. Francy. So that's why I'm going to keep that. I did think about having the channel name of Mr. Francy Sees or Mr. Francy Watches, but then I found that may pigeonhole myself as well. And so therefore, by just having Mr. Francy, which is what I'm known on YouTube as anyway, it doesn't limit me to anything other than the expectation that Mr. Francy, aka me, will show up and do a video or a podcast or whatever. And so I like the idea, and so there you go. We'll take away the reads and we leave it with Mr. Francy. So what is the plan moving forward? Well, there is going to be another big change that is happening with the channel, and so I believe in total and complete transparency, so I'm just going to let you all know that I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be. At the moment, I am in the middle of transitioning between editors. I had an amazing editor that you guys all came to know when I was doing my booktube channel. But for reasons beyond my control, my editor has had to step away, which is fine. I really appreciate all the work that he did. He knows this, and I want to thank him for everything he's done for me. But because I am currently, again, in the spirit of being transparent as I can be, I am in the middle of seeking out a new editor at the moment. I can't give you a strict upload schedule. Even if I did have one, the upload schedule would probably be one video a week, if that, because I don't want to limit myself to a schedule at all, because I want this to be fun, and I don't want for what once was booktube, which very much seemed like a job to me, which is now a YouTube channel, to become a job as well. I just want it to be something fun for me. So there you go. There's my explanation on how we went from Mr. Francy Reads to simply Mr. Francy. If you have any comments, thoughts, and or questions, please do let me know in the comments section below. Once again, please do hit the like button, the thumbs up button. It really does help my channel. Hit the subscribe button and the bell, ding, so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And of course, if you have any comments, thoughts, and or questions, I absolutely encourage them. Let me know in the comments section below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, mwah, give everyone a hug. Bye, everyone.